you some more breaking news that's coming in, and this is in connection to the Bhopal Gas tragedy compensation enhancement. Now, the Supreme Court has pulled up the centre for the second consecutive day. The Supreme Court has said, and I quote, "How could you file a curative without filing review? Is it easy to get emotive, but there are rules? We can't play to the gallery. How can you rescind a settlement once arrived at? And tomorrow you might say that the air travelled much more beyond Bhopal. We would like to give benefit to the peripheral areas." And going straight across to my colleague Harish, who is joining us live on the broadcast. For more on this, Harish, the Supreme Court there pulling up the centre for the second consecutive day.
Yes, that's right. The Supreme Court has pulled up the centre in this case for the second consecutive time today. Remember, the Supreme Court is hearing a curative petition filed by the centre. In fact, which the Modi government has in fact agreed to pursue the 2010 curative petition filed by then Manmohan Singh government seeking enhanced compensation to the tune of Indian rupees 8,000 crore to the victims, and they had already paid $470 million. And today, Supreme Court once again questioned the centre as to how it could file a curative petition around 20 years later, and also asked how it was filed without a review being filed, and said that it is easy to get emotive, but Supreme Court has to go strictly by the rules, and we cannot play to the gallery. And also very significantly asked, once you are part of the agreement arrived at with the Union Carbide, that is Dow Chemicals now, regarding the settlement for $470 million, how can you resign from it? And also said that your requirement, your demand for compensation will not have any end, because tomorrow, once this is agreed to, tomorrow you will say that the noxious gas had travelled much beyond Bhopal, and also the compensation should be given to the people living in the outer districts, in the peripheral areas also. So for the second consecutive day, the Supreme Court has pulled up the government, and the Supreme Court has once again very clearly said that this issue has been going on for several decades now. This needs a closure. And at the present hearing is going on, Attorney General R. Venkatramani is arguing, and he has said that this call has very clearly said that nobody doubts the enormity of the tragedy, yet where compensation has been paid, there is some question mark when there is some assessment on who at all are liable for this. Undoubtedly, people have suffered. It is easy to get emotive. On this side, we are supposed to refrain because we do not have the privilege to play to the galleries. Yesterday, we asked, when you have not filed a review, how do you come with a curative? Your answer was, maybe don't look at this so technically, but every dispute ought to have a closure at some point. Remember when the Supreme Court bench asked why the centre had directly filed a curative petition when, as per the procedure, first a review should have been filed after the Supreme Court had disallowed plea for enhanced compensation. The Attorney General said that the court, this is a human issue. It's a matter of thousands who have lost lives or got injured in a gas tragedy, and several people have not yet got compensation. So Supreme Court should not go into the technicalities of this. But Supreme Court has said that we cannot play to the gallery. We strictly go by the rules. It's very easy to get emotive. So the hearing is continuing. But for the second day, as I earlier said, the Supreme Court has pulled up the centre. In this case, the Supreme Court is hearing the curative petition filed by the centre seeking enhanced compensation for the Bhopal gas victims. Back to you.
Right, Harish, many thanks for sharing all those details with our viewers.